Hello everyone, Carla here. So how are you doing recently? We live in this world. Every day we will see many different plants around us. And those are all God's creation. But have you ever thought about why God created them? Do you know the deeper significance of God's creation of all things? So today we are going to talk about this. These days I read a story from Sister Xinping. This is her true experience. When she was young, she has a serious illness and tried many different Western medicine, but was still unable to cure. Later, her cat was cured by a leaf of medicinal herb. From this incident, Xinping witnessed the wonder of God creating all things and experienced God's sincere love for mankind. So, I will share the story with you today. At the age of 7, I suffered a serious case of osteomyelitis. When I went to the hospital with my family, the doctor said, fortunately, her examination was conducted in time. Otherwise, the infection might grow into bone and to become the bone tuberculosis. Now her life is no longer in danger, but her lower leg needs to be amputated. After hearing these words, my grandmother knelt down and pleaded pitifully with the doctor. She is so young. How could she live with just one leg? Due to my grandmother's pleas, the doctors performed an operation on me. He drew the neurotic bone marrow out of my lower leg instead of the amputating. Though I kept my leg, the cut didn't heal for over 1 year after the operation. It was always oozing pus and blood. Due to this, I was unable to walk at all. The old doctor in our village threw up his hands and said, I have tried all the medicine available for this illness, but it doesn't work. Her body has become resistant to those drugs. Hearing this, my grandmother said hopelessly, Now, what can we do? After thinking for a while, the doctor said, the Western medicine doesn't work, but there is a medicinal herb, the leaf of the eucalyptus. It can help discharge pus, promote the tissue regeneration, and heal the cut. However, this kind of tree is really real, so there are many mountains in this range. Whether you can find it or not might depend on whether a miracle would happen to her or not. After learning the shape and the characteristic of the leaf from the doctor, my grandmother immediately went home and told my father about it. At that time, my elder sister, who was just only 10 years old, she heard about this and then went up to the mountain on her own to help me for looking for the leaves. Finally, one day, my sister found the leaves on a high and steep mountain, and she brought some leaves back. When the doctor saw the leaves, he said in surprise, Wow, these indeed are the leaves we need. You are so lucky that your elder sister was able to find this tree. Wow, truly, God was looking out for you. So, later on, I attended the primary school. As I was looking up the words in the dictionary, I came across an annotation in the dictionary saying that the eucalyptus could be used as the medicine. At that time, I was curious about this. So the doctor tried so many ways to cure me, but it all failed. But just this unremarkable leaf can actually heal my cut. Where does the eucalyptus come from, and who bestows such miraculous the effect on it? I didn't find the answer for a long time. So time flies, Time passed, and one summer, When I play with the playmates with my friends in my village, we were playing the hide and seek in front of my house. One of my friends, who lived next door to my house, was stung by a wasp on the hand, and it became red and swelled up at once. It hurt so badly that he cried. The rest of us were so scared. We don't have any experience on how to deal with it, so we just stood up and do nothing. His mother quickly came over. She picked up a few leaves of the tower gourd in my garden and rubbed them hardly with her hands. She applied the green juice squeezed from the leaves to her son's hand. Before long, the swelling subsided, and my friend said that is no longer hurt. Seeing this, I became more curious. So why does the leaf of the tower gourd kill the wasp's sting? Why do these plants have such great effects on this? When I grew up, every time I went to the clinic, I would ask the old doctor about medicinal properties of this plant. So I would say, where do these herbs come from? And how can they have this kind of medicinal properties? Hearing my question, the doctor smiled and said, I cannot answer your profound questions. And later, after I believed in God, I read some passages and I found the answer from it. God created among all things some plants, animals, and various herbs that are especially meant to heal injuries or treat illness in the human body. What should someone do, for instance, if they are burned or accidentally scald themselves? Can you just rinse the burn with the water? Can you just wrap it up with any old piece of cloth? If you do that, the wound might fill with pus or become infected. If someone gets a fever, for instance, or catches a cold, suffers an injury while working, develops a stomach ailment from eating the wrong thing, or develops certain diseases caused by lifestyle factors or emotional issues, including vascular diseases, psychological conditions, or diseases of the internal organs, then there are corresponding plants that cure their conditions. There are plants that improve blood circulation and remove stagnation, relieve pain, staunch bleeding, provide anesthesia, help heal the skin and return it to a normal condition, and disperse stagnant blood and eliminate toxins from the body. In short, these plants have use in daily life. People can use them, and they have been prepared by God for the human body in case of need. God allowed man to discover some of them by happenstance, while others were discovered by people who God chose to do so, or as a result of special phenomenon He orchestrated. Following the discovery of these plants, mankind would pass them down, and many people would come to know about them. God's creation of these plants thus has value and meaning. In summary, these things are all from God, prepared and planned by Him when He created mankind's living environment. They are essential. Are God's thoughts, processes more thorough than those of mankind? When you see all that God has done, do you have a sense of God's practical side? God works in secret. God created all of this when man had not yet come into this world, when He had had no contact with mankind. Everything was done with mankind in mind, for the sake of man's existence and with thought for their survival, so that mankind may live happily in this rich and plentiful material world that God prepared for them, free from worry about food or clothes, lacking nothing. In such an environment, mankind can continue to reproduce and survive. After reading those words, I understood that these plants were all from God, And that is God who created all things and prepared everything that we humans require for the existence. God prepared not only all kinds of drinks and food for our survival, but also, the plants that can cure virus diseases so that we can live on the earth healthily. God was thoroughly thoughtful for our sake and prepared everything for us. His love is so great and so real. I remembered when I was young, the cut in my leg oozed pus and blood continuously. After the operation, it doesn't cure. The doctor could do nothing about it, but the eucalyptus leaf created by God healed my cut, so that I could walk like a normal people. What's more, my friend who was stung on his hand by a wasp experienced a great deal of pain. However, after his mother applied the juice squeezed from the leaves of the tower gourd to his hand, surprisingly, the swelling subsided. All things God creates are so wonderful, and this is God's power. I'm thankful that I can come before God, read God's words, know the Creator, and can feel God's sincere love and care for us. From all those things we can feel God's love and sincere care. Meanwhile, I also see the wonder of God's creation of all things and how He has done all this for mankind. I truly experience that, we cannot live neither God nor the mere things created by Him. I sincerely give thanks to God for preparing all these things for us. Amen. So after hearing the story, did you get any enlightenments from it? Next time, when you see all the plants around you, can you also get the meaning about why God created them? And can you feel God's care and sincere love for us? So, hope you will like the story and thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.